Bristol Dirt, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. Nope. Hold on. I thought I could do this for like 10, 15 minutes. I gotta do number two. I'm sorry. Don't yell at me. I really have to go. I will be right back. Stay there. I'm sorry. I'm back. Okay. I feel a lot better. Now I can talk. I've cleared my mind and my intestines. Don't laugh at my hair. I just came back from the gym, okay? I put in a good workout, legs. Tough day, so I know it looks like a mess. Don't laugh at me. Shout out to all the Patreon members for always supporting the channel. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Now let's talk about Bristol Dirt. I don't really like it. You can now dislike the video, click off of it if you want. It's fine. If you want to hear out my opinion, it's okay. I like it occasionally. I don't like it too, but if I had to give you an answer, I don't like it, but let me explain. I thought yesterday's race was a little bit of a mess, and what I mean by that is, well, at the very beginning, you had, apparently the track wasn't ready, and then you had an issue with a certain amount of cars, with the grill and stuff, and yeah, Kevin Harvick was not very happy about it, and a lot of other guys were not very happy about it, and the thing about Bristol Dirt is NASCAR themselves, they are not, they don't run dirt races. So it's tough for NASCAR to once a year hold a dirt race at a track that's not a dirt track. And these two things coming together, I gave them a pass last year. You can literally watch my video last year about Bristol Dirt. And I said, this is their first year, give them a break, come back next year, do it better. But they didn't. The same things that went wrong last year basically happened this year. And the track was a little bit better prepared, but they still had the same issues. And I think just trying to take Bristol Dirt, take Bristol and make it a dirt track is not what you should be doing when there are plenty of dirt tracks out in the country that you could go to. And I understand why they do it for Bristol, because obviously there's 160,000 seats at Bristol. Not all of them will be filled. But you can get a higher attendance at Bristol than you can at Eldora, which is why they, go to Bristol. I get it. But from the outside looking in, it feels a little bit too much of I don't want to say a clown show, but it just feels not professional, not professionally done. You know how we talk about Fox and their broadcasts and how they don't feel professional when you compare them to F1, that they sound a lot more professional, talk about the technical aspects of the sport, and they kind of carry a charisma and a respect to the sport, where in NASCAR we have cartoon characters, not the broadcasters, I'm not saying that, but cartoon avatars, and we talk about giving away money via an app on stage 2 and get Clint Boyer. It just doesn't feel very professional. Well, this event, to me, doesn't feel very professional. When, and I want to make it very clear, I don't watch a lot of dirt racing, and dirt racing is not my expertise. I am a NASCAR fan, asphalt racing, that's kind of my cup of tea. I'm not a dirt fan. I do not watch dirt racing, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know much about it. You guys who watch the channel often, whenever there's a dirt race or something, you guys know, that's not my thing. I do not know enough about it. I do not watch it enough, and for me, the only type of dirt racing that I really would like to watch is usually sprint cars. I like the high-speed aspect of taking a 900 horsepower sprint car and racing it on dirt. I'm not really the type of late model guy, or putting a cup car on dirt or trucks on dirt. It feels like a step backwards to me. NASCAR should be progressing and trying to get that younger audience, which is what Formula One is doing fantastically right now. And I just don't think dirt racing does that. It does it for some people, but for me, the whole argument of NASCAR started on dirt 50 years ago. This isn't 50 years ago. In golf, we don't play with wooden clubs. We used to use wooden clubs back in the day, but now they use steel clubs and carbon fiber clubs. But let's go back to wooden clubs, because that's what they used 50 years ago. Let's go race cars on dirt, because that's what they did 50 years ago. Who cares what happened 50 years ago? That was before the booming that NASCAR had. That was before NASCAR got very big, probably too big for its own good. And then, it came crashing down a little bit again. But that doesn't mean we got to go back to dirt racing. Dirt racing, it's its own thing. And I think, the grassroots part of the nation have fun with it and keep it there. I don't think if you're going to do it in NASCAR, it has to either be an exhibition race, in my opinion, or you got to go to a legit dirt track. You can't just half-ass it and say, I'm going to go to Bristol, turn Bristol into a dirt track, and, do it that way. I've seen it 2 years now, guys, and it doesn't fit. And I want to show Jeff Gluck's poll here because this is very interesting to me. You see, it has a 58% yes percentage, which is way lower than I thought, because let's show the ending to this race. Tyler Reddick and Chase Briscoe had a little bit of incident. Kyle Busch comes around and win, but it's an amazing finish. It's that last lap, last corner, going for the lead. They end up wrecking, and then someone else takes the win, and it's an amazing finish, and I should be talking about it, and everyone should be talking about it, but for some reason, even with that finish, and I don't like using Jeff Gluck's poll all the time as that's the consensus, but it's enough. Like if Gluck's poll is at a 58 instead of a 90, there's definitely enough people out there that have some sort of issue with the race. It's not say all and end all, but it gives, and why I really love the poll that he runs, is that it gives a good indication of what the majority do think. And the fact that that finish happened and still so many people said it wasn't a good race, that means that there is something there to improve on. And even though I do think, me not liking the dirt aspect of it, I definitely think I'm in the minority there. But there's something there that has to be improved. And I think enough fans are with me on that. And we have to, the ratings haven't come out yet, but the biggest thing about this are the ratings, TV ratings, attendance. Attendance was okay yesterday. It still is better than the last time they ran Bristol as an asphalt race in the spring. Still way better. I think that Bristol spring race, whether you like it or not, it shouldn't go back to asphalt because people will not show up, because you have the Bristol night race. That's the race everyone shows up to. When you take Bristol to the spring, you have a lot of weather issues that you encounter, and it's just not the Bristol night race. And so people want to save their money and go to the Bristol night race. So if you're going to have two races at Bristol, I do like trying Bristol dirt, but it doesn't seem to be at least for the first 2 years, it doesn't seem to be capturing what I thought it could. I thought it could be a really cool event, but mostly when I'm watching it, it just feels confusing. It doesn't feel professional because NASCAR are not experts at this. They're not experts at holding a dirt race. That's not what they do. They race on asphalt. That is what NASCAR does now. Okay, so whether you like it or not, that's what they are. And when they try to run a dirt race on an asphalt track, you can see the issues that they're having. And even if they did it for a third year, I don't think it would be any better. So that means, what do you do? What do you do with the second Bristol race day? And to be honest, I don't know. I'm a big believer in every venue having one event. Obviously, that will not happen because, people like to make their money. Tracks like to make their money. But I would like to only go to Daytona once, and go to only Talladega once, and only go to Martinsville once, and only go to Bristol once, and, go to 30 different racetracks, shorten the season by like 6 races, go to 30 different tracks. Each track we go to once and have it that way. That would be really cool to me. That would. But, that's never going to happen. People want to make their money. I completely understand it, but, it would be cool to spread it out. Go back to Circuit Joe Villeneuve in Canada. Maybe go to Mexico City. Maybe have a race in Europe. Take a week off and go to a race in Europe. One race, only one, and go to every track once. And that's where that argument could be played in with Bristol Dirt. Because and I think this will happen next year, Bristol Dirt will come back. If it doesn't have an overall consensus of like, this is really good, I really like it, for the majority, I'm talking 80% and above for the majority of NASCAR fans, and if the attendance still isn't popping, if it still isn't popping in the TV ratings, which we will see what happens when they come out, if it isn't, giving you what you want, then Bristol Dirt is one of those it's one of those key events in the calendar where you have to look at it and be like, what do we do here? Because going back to the asphalt Bristol spring race is not an option. It's not. That race will not sell. It will not be, even though fans will probably like it, it won't sell, guys. It will not make the money necessary. We saw that. So what do you do with it? And let's face it, if you take away a race date from Bristol, that's one of the best racetracks in the country. If you take one away from Bristol, you got to take one away from a lot of other tracks. And then we get closer to that thing I was talking about, where we could get into the one race per venue, but then you'd have to take away a race from Daytona. That's not going to happen. You have to take a race away from Talladega. That's not going to happen. You have to take a race away from Martinsville. That's not going to happen. So it's just like, that's where the whole idea of one race per venue just falls flat on its face. It just will not happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, guys. I kind of laid out, my opinions on it. And I'm very respectful for people who do like this event. Like, good for you. Like, when I was watching that finish was cool to me. My only thing is like for a dirt race, and again, I like I said earlier, when it comes to dirt racing, I like the sprint cars. And the sprint cars, they kind of run around the top, and then you can slide drop on the bottom. And for me, there doesn't seem to be like at Bristol, for example, it's a 1 lane track on dirt. And when I think of dirt racing, it's not 1 lane. Like it's slide jobs, it's 2 lane. Top is usually the superior line. But for Bristol dirt, you can't even get to the top. You have to run like the middle. And then everyone runs the middle. And you saw Kyle Larson relentlessly last night was starting on the bottom and just went backwards and just went backwards and just went backwards and just went back. And when I'm watching a dirt race, I'm like, man, what is it? It's a 1 line dirt track. And this isn't like, NASCAR asphalt short tracks where it's old Bristol, 1 lane only. You got to move someone out of the way. You can't move someone out of the way in dirt racing because if you try to lay something on them, you'll both wreck. So it's like you can't do that. So it doesn't. I don't know. The style of racing last night, when I think of dirt racing, I think of the entire track being available to you, slide jobs everywhere, and I don't see that with Bristol Dirt. It's been 2 years now. The first Bristol Dirt race, everyone ran the bottom. Just bottom feeder, bottom. This Bristol Dirt race, it was the middle. Everyone runs the middle. You try to run the bottom, you ain't making a pass. So it's like, how can you prepare the track to get the whole track to be raceable? And the whole track was not raceable. And so that, I think, is why I didn't really enjoy it that much. But let me know what you guys think. And just remember, like, again, I'm not educated on dirt racing. So, that's just, for me, I didn't really enjoy it. I normally would talk about the race a little bit more, but guys, this was more of like an overall. I don't want to make the video too long. It was more of an overall opinion that I had that I wanted to share, and I want to know what you guys think of it. I had a lot of really good responses on Twitter where a lot of you said, essentially, you guys like the dirt race, but you see where I'm coming from. And I think that's what the poll also shows, where a lot of people like the idea of it and could like the event because it's different. Trust me, I like it. It gets kind of repetitive, when you go to Pocono and then you go to Michigan and then you go to Dover and then you go, back to Michigan, you go back to Pocono. It could get very repetitive when you go week after week after week after week and, go to, and boom, pop up a dirt race in there. It's definitely different, catches my attention, right? But something about the process of that event to me is not clicking. And so does it click to you guys? Let me know what you think. It's really going to be all about TV ratings and attendance and tickets being sold for that event to see if they'll keep it or do something different. But man, I would love to see not make it a points race, do an exhibition race, maybe not use the cup car. I remember back in the day they used late models, the Tony Stewart exhibition at Eldora. Go to a dirt track. Don't use Bristol dirt, but go to a dirt track, an actual dirt track. But, then you, like I said, with ticket sales, you can't sell as much at Eldora that you can at Bristol. So it's like, it would be a better event, but I don't know. It's really, I don't think what I watched last night to me is really what I see NASCAR being in the future. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. And some drivers have the same opinion. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin. They all have the same opinion where they really wouldn't want to do a dirt race. But, I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough situation. So let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. I'm going to end it there. And by the way, let's all say press F to pay respects for Tyler Reddick. Should have won. He should have won. But that's dirt racing. Go for the slide job. Can't pull off the slide job. And then, they both end up wrecking. It happens. And that's an amazing finish. And the race still doesn't have over 60% of it was, it's kind of like, whatever. But Kyle Busch won the race, by the way. Kyle Busch won it. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. I know this wasn't really a post-race review, but I just really wanted to talk about it this event. Talladega is next week. That should be a really interesting race. There'll be a post-race review for that one. And then when is NASCAR's first off week? We haven't had it is April 8th. I thought I thought NASCAR used to not race on Easter. Well, I don't think they did, but now apparently they do. I don't know. But we'll see whenever they have the off week. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.